Okay, dear students, once again I'll discuss certain topics on radioactivity. Before discussing the radioactivity, we'll discuss the X-ray. This X-ray is discovered by Mr. Roentgen, which was discovered in 1895, and he had discovered with the help of cathode ray experiment only. He had made certain arrangement in that discharge tube, and then he studied this. You can look at this. Cathode ray experiment. This is the glass tube. So this is the rays coming. This is the rays coming. In the path of the rays, if you put some metals which are having high melting points, means metal having high melting point, in place of this here also in front of this cathode ray here, after behind the anode, behind this is cathode, this is anode. So behind this anode, you somewhere in between this and this, you put some dense metal, or don't put anything. Even if you don't put anything, simply put this anode as a dense metal. That means you make anode with a dense metal. That means dense metal means metal having high melting point. You make an anode of such type of metal which have high melting point. So cathode you can have anything, but in case of anode you take a certain metal which are very dense. That means have very high melting point, very hard in nature. Then what will happen? This cathode ray, when pass through this anode having a very dense material, that means very high melting point cathodes, metal having had, then it will produce X-ray, and it moves straight away and gives you the fluorescence at B. Even if you put this magnetic field, electric field, put the magnetic field, you will say there is no deflection in this X-ray. Put this electric field, there is no deflection. Even you put both electric field as well as magnetic field, there will be no deflection. So with this experiment, you can say that X-ray is neutral in nature. It have no positive or negative charge. It is neutral in nature. It is very penetrating. So that means the electron which is produced by cathode, emanating from cathode, strikes this anode, which is made up of very hard material, very dense metal. Not any material, we will be using the metal only, dense metal. That means metal having very high melting point. When this moving electron, this cathode ray, strikes over this anode, it produces X-ray, and that moves in a straight line towards B. So this experiment confirms that X-ray can produce fluorescence, but it is not deflected by magnetic field or electric field. So that's why ultimately we will say that it is neutral in nature. So in the notes I have written everything. You can note it down for future reference. So X-ray can cause fluorescence. X-rays are not deflected in electric or magnetic field, and that is why X-rays do not carry any charge. That means it is neutral, and X-ray have very high penetrating power. It can go inside our body up to the bone. There it can get reflected back. That's why X-ray is generally used to take the photograph of our bones. So that is why these X-ray are used to study the interiors of our body. Wavelength of the X-ray is very short. It is around 0.1 nanometer, and this X-ray has got electromagnetic rays. It is a electromagnetic rays. That means it has got electrical as well as magnetic character. Both the type of character is having is associated with this. That is why it is called electromagnetic rays. Okay. Now one more thing we'll discuss, that is radioactivity. So with the discovery of this electron, proton, okay, with the discovery of electron and proton, now people was aware that now the atoms are divisible, okay, because now we know that we can create cathode rays, we can create anode rays. So the discovery of cathode rays and anode rays, discovery of electron and proton confirms that atoms are divisible. Atoms are divisible into subatomic particles. And apart from this, so that is why what are the rays, what are the energies there, atom can be subdivided into energy particles also. So research carried out after certain time. One scientist was there, Henri Becquerel, who was the French scientist, who observed that there are certain elements in this universe. What is there? There are certain elements in this universe which spontaneously emits active radiations. Active radiations. Active means it is very powerful and it can give you certain effects. That is why it is called active radiations. So spontaneous emissions are there with the certain elements. This spontaneous radiation means release of energy. Radiation is nothing, it's a release of energy. That means there are certain elements which releases energy particles, different kind of energy particles, without having any external factors. That means nobody has done anything with that element. Just keep it, it will release the energy. Such type of a spontaneous emission of active radiation by certain elements are known as radioactivity. What it is known as? Radioactivity. And the metal or the element which exhibits such type of active radiation or spontaneous emission are known as radioactive elements. Are known as radioactive elements. An example is uranium. Example is uranium. Uranium is the example. Best example of the radioactive substance, that is uranium. Okay. So this is discovered by Henri Becquerel in the year 1896. So radioactivity, the process of radioactivity, phenomenon of radioactivity, and the radioactive elements are discovered by Mr. Henri Becquerel in 1896. But the properties of these radioactive rays are studied by Rutherford and Villard. Rutherford and Villard, these two scientists have studied the properties of radioactive rays. He had carried out a certain experiment in a magnetic field and in an electric field. He carried out this experiment in magnetic field or in electric field, and there he observed that this radioactive substance releases three type of rays, and these three type of rays have got a different nature. Now we can see the simple arrangement here. This is the simple arrangement here. This is the effect of magnetic field on the alpha, beta, gamma rays. So there are three type of radioactive rays. How many type of radioactive rays are there? Alpha, beta and gamma rays. So this is the arrangement. Here the, suppose that this is the lead base. This is the lead. This is the lead in which this radioactive substance, that means this is the lead, PB, lead. This is the base of lead. In this here is the pocket. In this pocket, what is kept here? Here the uranium is kept and allowed to release the energy, and we magnetic field or electric field is applied here. So when the magnetic field is applied, when these are released, this is the electric field. You can see here positively charged, negatively charged. This is the electric field and effect of electric field. Both are here. So particularly in the electric field when we are studying. So this is the electric field, and you know that wherever there is electric field there will be magnetic field. Electric field and magnetic field are perpendicular to one another. So if you imply the electric field, automatically you are implying magnetic field also. No need to have a separate magnetic field here. So when you apply the electric field, there will be magnetic field perpendicular to the electric field. So when this rays is released, if there is no magnetic field or electric field, then all the rays will move in a straight line and it will glow here only. So there will be no distinction between the alpha, beta, gamma rays at that moment if there is no electric field or magnetic field. But under the influence of electric field and magnetic field, you will find that there are certain elements, certain rays which never undergo any deflection. It moves in a straight line even under the electric field and magnetic field, and moves and gives you the glow at this position. This is the fluorescence material here which is kept here. So it will give you the fluorescence here, and there are elements which gives you the fluorescence here, and there are energy particles which gives you the fluorescence here. Now you can see certain energy particles are moving toward the negatively charged plate. Certain energy rays are moving towards the negatively charged plate. It is deflected towards the negatively charged plate. That means it is positively charged and it is named as alpha. So the energy rays, the energy rays which are deflected towards the negatively charged plate are known as alpha rays, and since it is moving towards the negatively charged plate, so that means alpha particle is a positively charged. Whereas there are certain energy particles which moves towards the positive plate, deflect towards the positive plate and gives you glow here. So the rays which are moving towards the positive plates are known as beta particles. What is known as? It is beta particles, and since it is moving towards the positive charge, so beta particle is negatively charged, and you will observe the beta particle is nothing but it is electron. Now you can see what is the extent of deflection of alpha and the deflection of beta. You can see the deflection of beta is much more higher than the deflection of alpha. This is the deflection of alpha. There is no deflection, then it could have come here, but due to deflection alpha is coming here, and due to deflection beta is coming here. So this is the extent of deflection of beta rays, and this is the deflection of the alpha rays. So which side there is a more deflection? Beta rays got deflected much more in comparison to the alpha. That means the beta has got more kinetic energy than the alpha. That means beta must have the lower energy, because everything has got the same, so momentum is same. So that means velocity is more, so mass would be less. Momentum, so mass would be less, mv. So velocity, it is moving. Okay, so less mass, more momentum. Beta has got less mass and more momentum, so that is why it is getting deflected more. So beta is a very light particle like electrons only, and actually it is electron only. That is why it is moving away from this original position. Deflection is very high in comparison to the deflection of the alpha particle when there is no deflection. So that is why alpha particle is very light particle like an electron, whereas the beta particle is very light particle like electron only, and whereas the alpha particle is little bit heavier, it appears like a helium. It has got 2 positive charge and 4 unit of mass is there, so alpha is like helium. So this is the experiment carried out to alpha, beta and gamma rays. So under the influence of magnetic field and electric field, these three rays gives you the fluorescence in 3 different directions. Gamma rays, no deflection at all, it moves in a straight line even in presence of magnetic field and electric field. So that is why we say gamma ray is neutral in nature. Gamma is neutral in nature, it is not attracted towards positive or negative plates, it moves in a straight direction. So that is why gamma is a neutral particles, whereas alpha is positively charged, beta is negatively charged. So these are the three energy particle which is released by the radioactive substance, and release of alpha, beta, gamma rays spontaneously by any elements are known as radioactivity, and such substance are known as radioactive substance. Now we'll take a note of these properties. So radiations are emitted by the naturally occurring radioactive elements, which are of 3 types, that is alpha, beta and gamma rays. Already explained to it. On placing a sample of uranium mineral in lead block, at base we have discussed it, and allowing the emitted rays to pass through the strong electric or magnetic field, the radiation is resolved into 3 directions, alpha, beta and gamma. All gives you in the 3 different directions. Now we'll discuss the alpha rays. What is alpha rays? The rays which is deflected slightly towards the negative plates were named as alpha rays. These carry 2 units of positive charge and 4 units of mass. The velocity and the penetrating power. The velocity and penetrating power. What is penetrating power? How can it penetrate and how can it move into the body of any substance? Of alpha, beta, gamma decreases in the order. That means gamma has got the maximum penetrating power and velocity, beta is in between, the alpha has got the minimum. Gamma has maximum penetrating power, whereas alpha has got minimum penetrating power or velocity. Now what is beta rays? The rays which is deflected, more than those of alpha rays towards positive plate. Okay, these rays is deflected more than that of alpha rays towards the positive plate, and it is named as beta rays. Why it is deflected much more than the alpha rays? It is due to the small mass or more momentum of the beta rays than the alpha rays. If you compare the mass and the momentum of the alpha rays, it would be different for beta rays. Mass is much smaller for beta rays in comparison to alpha rays. Momentum is much higher because it is very light particles, so that is why it gives you the very high energy particles. Okay. So beta is actually or electrons. The kinetic energy and the capacity to ionize the gas decreases in the order. That means which has the maximum capacity to ionize? Alpha, then beta, then gamma. That means alpha has got maximum ionizing capability and gamma has got minimum ionizing capability. Okay, so last one is the gamma rays. The rays which remained undeflected were named as gamma rays. Okay, these rays, that means gamma rays, do not have any charge. That means in fact it is do not have any charge. That means gamma ray is neutral, but gamma rays are electromagnetic in nature, and gamma rays are high energy particles, high energy rays. Okay, thank you.